Thank you. First, I want to apologize for my Israeli broken English after all the speakers here. But you know, we have a prime minister with fluent English, and our reality is not so bright. So maybe an Israeli broken English is better sometime. Above all, I want really to thank J Street on your partnership and on your courage and the thing we did together on being our primary partner, an excellent one, in working to achieve our common vision, secure peace and two-state solution. Together, we will do the impossible. Trust me. We will solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict because there is no other choice, and this conference is about this choice exactly. But there are those, mainly on the right wing in Israel, who don't want to resolve the conflict. The Israeli right have new neologism. They bounding about managing the conflict. On the right, they don't talk about conflict resolution, they talk about conflict management, the new invention of the Israeli right wing. We don't have a partner, so let's manage the conflict. This is one defeatist attitude. But we are here, refuse to be defeatists. But let's, for the sake of argument, have a look at how Netanyahu and the right wing managed the conflict in the years that they have been in power. During the right-wing conflict management, terrorist organizations have grown stronger politically and militarily. The moderates have been weakened and the extremists strengthened. During the right-wing conflict management, Israel entered dangerous, endless, vicious circles of operations in Gaza. During the right-wing conflict management, thousands of rockets were fired at Israeli citizens, and terror tunnels were digged under our homes and city. During the right-wing conflict management, Israeli deterrence against terror organizations has been damaged. During the right conflict management, the polarization and incitement between us and the Palestinians grew and turned into despair and complete lack of trust. During the right conflict management, incitement between Israel's right and left, Jews and Arabs, has become a fixture of our society and way of life. It is as if we didn't learn anything from the murder of Rabin. May his memory be a blessing. Definitely. During the right conflict management, the rift between Israel, Jews and Arab citizens deepened. Citizens of the same country who have reached a point where they hate each other, fight each other, and incite against each other. During the right-wing conflict management, Israel is heading toward international isolation. During the right-wing conflict management, diaspora Jews have become the target of a wave of anti-Semitic and anti-Israel attack. During the right-wing conflict management, one of the most serious crises has been created between us and our greatest and true friend and ally, the United States of America and its President Barack Obama. And I'm telling you, President Barack Obama, not everyone in Israel think what the government think. We think you are a true friend of Israel, a true ally of Israel, and we appreciate everything you did for Israel. We are proud to have this partner. And I want to tell you another thing, President Obama, or maybe Secretary Kerry. I remember one senior minister in our government called you obsessive because you tried to reach peace. Not peace between Wisconsin and Colorado, peace between Israel and Palestine. You called him obsessive. I have a dream that the Israeli government will be at least obsessive of you, like you, to reach peace for ourselves. Please, be obsessive. During the right-wing conflict management, the political conflict is turning into a religious conflict. Do you know how dangerous it is? And during the right-wing conflict management, we are marching confidently toward a third, very bad one, intifada. Trust my words. Mainly in Jerusalem, and I'm a Jerusalemite. But worst of all, during the right-wing conflict management, we are marching straight towards a one-state solution and the killing of our dream for two-state solution. It will kill this dream. And I ask Prime Minister Netanyahu, is this how you manage the conflict? In any normal company, society, organization, the manager who will manage anything like this would have to be fired long time ago. Long time ago. No concessions here. Prime Minister Netanyahu internalized this. A brave leadership do not manage a conflict. A brave leadership solves a conflict. And this is exactly what we should do. It's in our hands. Dear friends, we have to tell the truth to the public. The two-state solution is the only possible solution for Israel and for the Palestinians. The only one. We have to tell the truth. The right-wing policies are leading us toward a binational state. And a binational state is the end of the Zionist enterprise and the end of Israel's as a nation-state for the Jewish people. We must not sacrifice the future of our country on the altar of the narrow interest of the extreme right, because the extreme right way is definitely the wrong way. The dream of most Israelis and most Palestinians is the same vision and the same dream, a free and independent state of their own. The two-state solution is a joint Israeli-Palestinian interest, and this is why the dream of the Palestinians for having their own state should be also our dream, the Jewish people of Israel. It's the same dream. It's a win-win. And we are tired to live in a lose-lose situation. Another common claim by the right wing is that there is no partner. My dear friends, in conflict there is no such a thing as no partner. In war and in conflict, there will never be an ideal partner. Were there a conflict or war, the other side defined as the enemy or the adversary, and the enemy or the adversary is generally not a nice partner. The no-partner policy, my friends, is the excuse of the right wing for diplomatic stagnation and destruction, for a lack of courage, for a lack of leadership, for, frankly, a lack of spine. But you know, perhaps the right wing thinks that one day we will have or find a Palestinian leader who is the perfect partner, a Zionist Palestinian partner. Maybe, Saib, do you know one? Saib, I don't know one. Maybe they are looking for a Palestinian leader, Jabotinskite in his views, one who would leave a note in the Kotel, in the Western Wall, and will have the Israeli flag and the picture of Herzl and Ben Gurion behind his desk in the office. Maybe they are looking for this kind of partner. Do any one of you know this kind of partner? I'll let the right in a little secret. There will never be such a partner or a leader in the other side. There will never be a perfect partner for peace. Egypt and Jordan were far more bitter enemies of ours and far stronger than the Palestinians. But if the no-partner assumption had guided Menachem Begin, as it guided Benjamin Netanyahu, Egypt and Jordan would still be our sworn enemies. Imagine that! Imagine that! But there used to be time that the right wing had brave leaders who understand what's good for Israel, what's good for the Zionist dream, what's good for all the citizens, Jews and Arabs. Read about what Jabotinsky wrote about the common fate that Jews and Arabs should have in Israel. Jabotinsky, the king of the right wing. Where is Jabotinsky today in Likud? Yitzhak Rabin said correctly, you make peace with your enemies. If we could turn Egypt and Jordan into partners, it is possible and critical that we do the same with the Palestinian Authority. It's in our hands. Now, there's another false claim by the right wing that I want to dispel. The right wing said, when there's a Palestinian state in the West Bank, Israel's borders won't be defensible. This is a lie and a cheap intimidation. Israel is a strong country with one of the strongest armies in the world. In contrast, it is clear that in any agreement with the Palestinian state will be demilitarized. Demilitarized. They agree to it. Ask Tzahal. If Israel can defend its borders against enemy states with strong and almighty army, it can defend itself against a small demilitarized country if needed to. And if, God forbid, after a peace agreement, we will face terror from the future Palestinian state, Israel can deal with it as it's dealing with it today. But what do we have to lose? But when they will have a state and we will have peace, the motivation to attack will be lessened. The Palestinian government will become responsible for peace and quiet. The international community will not isolate us. Instead, they will back us up in our defense of our borders if we were to be attacked, because the justification for all defensive action by Israel will be clear to all, which is not the situation right now. Dear friends, Israel's most effective weapon against Egypt and Jordan has been the peace treaty with them. This will also be the case when we will have a Palestinian state. Israel must and always should be able to defend itself, even more so when a Palestinian state is established. Dear friends, let's say the truth. And this is very sad to think of. We already know what an Israeli-Palestinian agreement will look like, 90% of it. Most of the details of the agreement between us and the Palestinians has been written in dozens of protocols and accords and understandings and documents, mainly written by the obsessive Americans. We also wrote some. So what remaining disputes we can and must be resolved in a concentrated and determined effort. Reaching an agreement is possible. What is missing, what is demanded today, is not the details. It's a determined and courageous leadership which knows how to conduct honest and genuine negotiation. Not pretended negotiation like the last 9 months. Not negotiation without good faith. Real negotiation, true and honest, until a white smoke will come out of the chimney, as we said. Because we must come to an agreement, and the sooner the better. And even if we will fail, God forbid, even if it's difficult, we must try again and again and again, because this is the future of us all. The future of the Israelis, the future of the Palestinians, this is the future of our children, the youth from both sides. This is our duty for the sakes of the future generation in Israel and in Palestine. I want to conclude by reminding or telling some of us about an important event that my lobby, my caucus at the Knesset, the Two-State Solution Caucus, arranged in the previous Knesset. We took about 300, for the first time in history, 300 young Israeli leaders to meet President Abu Mazen, President Abbas, face-to-face in the Mukata in Ramallah. We also hosted, by the way, the first formal Palestinian delegation inside the Knesset. It never happened until our caucus said that it should happen. 300 young people who came to look to President Abbas in the eyes and ask him all the tough questions. We asked hard questions. We got honest answers. We didn't like all the answers, but we got answers. We really spoke with the other side. Something that Prime Minister Netanyahu should try sometime soon. Talk with the other side. But listen to this. Few days after this visit to the Mukata, after a lot of pressure by Secretary Kerry, Prime Minister Netanyahu gave a speech in the Knesset where he said, I quote, if John Kerry pitched a tent, you know, a tent like in camping, between Jerusalem and Ramallah, Secretary Kerry would pitch a tent between Jerusalem and Ramallah, I'm quoting, I would sit with Abbas in this tent, and I would stay with him and negotiate as long as necessary to achieve peace and security between us and the Palestinians. Wow. Really, Prime Minister Netanyahu? Your problem is erecting a tent between Jerusalem and Ramallah? A small tent takes you so long to build. After all, you're putting tens of thousands of housing units in the settlements, and a small tent, this is so hard to build. Why should we believe anything you say after this tent speech you had in the Knesset? So here, Mr. Prime Minister, we commit from here, in this auditorium, there are hundreds and thousands, young and old men and women, 1,000 students, and millions more of Israeli citizens who are willing to roll up their sleeves and help you set up these tents of yours between Jerusalem and Ramallah. We will build this tent any day now. You know what? We will install their air conditioning in the tent and heating, food and drinks, tables and chairs, even a pen if you'd like to sign something. Even a pistachio ice cream that you like so much. It's your favorite. We will bring it. Just go and sit with Abbas in this peace tent. Just show some leadership. Just show that you really want and are really, really ready to lead an end to this miserable and horrible conflict, to fulfill our dream for a two-state solution. Mr. Prime Minister, unfortunately, the problem is not the tent between Jerusalem and Ramallah. The problem is that you are not ready to go inside this tent. You do not have the courage, the determination, or the leadership to walk the extra mile, to cross the Rubicon. And I promise you for here, Prime Minister Netanyahu, even as a senior opposition member, if you will have the guts to go inside this tent, we will be right behind you. All of us. Even J Street. All of us. We will stand and salute you and admit that we were wrong about you. I promise. But if not, Prime Minister, I swear from here, we will do everything in our power to flip you and get the right leadership for Israel and for the future of Israel. Leadership that has the courage to get the job done. The last election proved, unfortunately, that there is still a long way to go. But we are patient. After all, we are talking on our future, and we will never, never give up on future, on peace, of our future, of the future of Zionism, Judaism, and our children. Peace is possible, peace is doable, and God, we will bring peace with the Palestinians. Thank you very much.
Okay.